So if we're in a situation where the other person owns a problem, we're going to suggest that you use what we call the helping skills. Because this is not my problem, it's not interfering with my needs, it's the other person. So we want to use whatever skills help them, allow them to have a better chance of figuring out and being clear about what their problem is, identifying solutions, figuring out some way to solve the problem. And if I can, I want to do that in a way so that they are able to do that primarily on their own, okay, rather than trying to step in and fix it for them. Because every time we do that, they feel better about the outcome. They're more likely to follow through. I don't have to do it for them. They don't have to depend on me to solve their problems for them. So we'll talk about what those skills are in a minute. If it's down here, I'm the one who's being impacted. Okay? I'm the one who thinks this is unacceptable. There's my needs that are not being met. The other person doesn't know anything about this. I mean, they may have guessed, but they don't know. Okay? So it's my responsibility to confront that behavior. Okay? And so I need to use those skills that will allow me to confront this behavior in a constructive way. And we're going to learn some skills that allow me to confront that behavior in a way that will allow me to maintain a good relationship with this person. Okay? But at the same time, get my needs met. And also, if we discover that it's joint ownership, we both have a problem, it's a conflict, we're also going to look at a set of skills that allow us together to resolve that conflict so we both get our needs met. So that's where we're headed. The set of skills we're going to look at up here are called helping skills. Now remember whose problem this is. It's the other person's problem. They're the one who is stuck. Their needs are not being met. It may also indicate that their emotional level may be elevated. Once you're frustrated and stuck, you sometimes have some very strong feelings about that. And the information that we need to solve this problem resides inside that other person. They're the ones who know what the problem is. Right? They know that. So my job in that situation is to create an environment in which they feel comfortable enough to talk about this, get their emotional level down, get clear on what the problem is, and talk about what the possible solutions might be to that. So what I'm not going to do is jump right in and tell them how to handle it. Right? My job is to create the conditions under where they're most likely to do that themselves. So I need to be primarily a listener in this situation. There are two broad kinds of listening skills. There are the basic skills. We all know what those are. Paying attention, being quiet, making sure the person knows it's okay, to talk in front of me, right? So giving them the opportunity to say and do what they need to do. The other kind of listening skill is one that we're going to call active listening, in which not only do I give them the opportunity to solve the problem on their own and say what's going on, but also to let them know that I understand, okay, that I'm really paying attention, that I understand what their situation is, both emotionally and intellectually. That's what active listening does. I listen to what they say, I think about that, and then I put into my own words, to the very best of my ability, my understanding of this person's thoughts and feelings. I give that information to that person, give them an opportunity to say, yeah, that's right, or no, not quite right. And one of the results of this interaction is that they tend to calm down because they've been listened to. Okay? Most of the time people feel better in a situation where they feel they've been listened to and thoroughly heard. Many times what happens is once that emotional level comes down, is that person starts to think more clearly about their own problem. It's more likely that they're able to identify concretely some steps that they might take to go and solve it. If they can't, we'll talk about other ways that you might be able to handle that. But when I see another person send a signal saying they have a problem, that's my job in the beginning, right? Is to be primarily a listener. If I own the problem, they're doing something that's preventing me from meeting my needs, My job is to confront that behavior. I'm the one, they don't know, so it's my job, the facts are here. It's my job to put the facts on the table. And we're going to learn here a skill that's called iMessages. And the tendency here, the sort of go-to position, the way what people typically do here, are what we call you messages. But the problem with what we call you messages, they're things like orders, commands, interrogating, cross-examining, making jokes, all of that sort of stuff. Okay, and the problem with those is they make all kinds of assumptions about what's going on inside that other person's head. So we're going to talk a little bit about how to avoid doing that. And we're going to substitute what we call an iMessage. And all an iMessage is, in its simplest terms, is a clear statement of my needs. I'm going to say, here's what's going on, here's what I see and hear. Okay, here's how it impacts me, and here's how I feel about that. And I'm going to assume for now that you're an adult. I'm going to give you that information, then I'm going to give you a chance to respond to it. Be as clear as I know how to be. And the other thing I'm going to do here is, after you respond to that, I'm going to do the best job I know how to hear your side of it, and to show you that I understand your side of it as much as I do my own. If I need to repeat it, I'll repeat it. If I need to listen some more, I'll listen some more. But the objective here is to get both of us to the point where we can talk clearly about what the problem is and identify some possible solutions to that problem. If we both own a problem, there's a conflict resolution process. It's called Method 3. We have what we call Method 1, Method 2, and Method 3. Method 1 and 2 are the typical ways of approaching conflict. I win, you lose. Method 2 is I give in, let you have your way. I lose, you win. But Method 3 means together we collaborate to find a course of action, a solution that satisfies both of our needs. It's a very simple 6-step problem-solving process that begins with a really clear statement of what our needs are.